Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. We're also streaming video live every single morning, 7 to 9 on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You 49er fans out there, it's time to talk little Niners, or at least the highlight in my lifetime of the Niners of the 80s and 90s. We talk Rise of the 49ers. This is a new series coming out in AMC and AMC Plus. And honestly, it highlights probably the best time for West Coast football, in my opinion. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young. Everybody knows the names.
Roger Craig.
Yep. And honestly, some of the greatest stories to come out of football, I would assume, are going to be in this series. And I can't wait to talk to two of the men who made this happen, Ryan Kelly and Nick Mascolo. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Just to make sure I did that
Crushed
right.
it.
Sweet.
Crushed
Just wanted to make sure. I apologize. Sometimes I mess up and it embarrasses the heck out of me. So, gentlemen,
well
thank you so much for joining us. Both of you from NFL Films. We really appreciate your time. First and foremost, obviously, we know Tom Brady had a lot to do with this, being a executive producer. But how did this entire series get off the ground? Who came up with the idea? And for many Niner fans who are texting me right now, I have to ask you guys, what took so long? Because we had to sit through the Dallas one with Netflix and all of that. And Niner fans are sitting here thinking, what about us?
Well, I mean, I think we have a partnership with Skydance Sports and Religion Sport, who helped us with the Tom Brady incorporation of all this. And we can't tell this story through the Tom Brady fan viewpoint until kind of now in Tom Brady's lifespan, because him doing this as a player would have been awkward. He had to get into the broadcasting game and get settled there, and then this was kind of the right time for him to be fully involved in helping us tell his story of how he grew up in San Mateo as a fan of the team with season tickets in his family and going and seeing Joe Montana and seeing Steve Young play and having that be the example that he wanted to follow in his sports journey. So I think that's kind of how it all started. Obviously, we know we could have started telling a 49ers episodic story about how good they were at that period of time, but it made sense to kind of give it a contemporary angle, have Tom be a part of it, and that's why it's coming out now. So
well, it worked out perfect because it not only is it coming out here in February, but the Super Bowl is in San Francisco this year. It lines up perfect. I'm a big fan. I grew up watching all the NFL films, the specials, the documentaries. And I mean, you guys had access to rare and never before, seen footage. Was there a moment or scene that, even longtime Niner fans are kind of going to be blown away by with this docuseries?
I think one of the main elements that we used throughout the entire series, we have Bill Walsh's personal archives of recorded team meetings, and they're just incredible windows into the way he thought and the way he ran the team and what made him a visionary coach. And I think, part of the privilege of putting this series together and having those elements at our disposal is that we get to bring all, viewers, everybody onto the inside of that, special dynasty. I think people are going to learn a lot about Bill Walsh that may especially younger fans maybe didn't know. And they should, like, if you're a football fan, you should know what Bill Walsh meant to the NFL and to football.
But I'm glad you brought up Coach Walsh, because that was going to be my next question. With him passing in 2007 and you guys obviously directing this, how challenging was it for you guys to really show what he meant to not only Niners fandom, but to the NFL without him directly being there and being able to share these stories?
Well, in addition to having those recorded team meetings, which were courtesy of his son Craig, who also participates in the film, Coach Walsh was a tremendous friend to NFL Films and to Steve Sable, who was our mentor. And we filmed with Coach Walsh many times, and we have just an incredible wealth of material of
Mhm.
him, interviews and wires and those team meetings. And I think his presence is felt as much as anybody who we sat down with last spring and filmed with. Like, I think in addition, we sat down with his son Craig and his daughter Liz, who were also able to speak for him. So I think in a weird way, like he's represented maybe almost even more than anybody who is still with us.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And Carmen Policy was also very valuable in kind of getting an insight of the dynamic between Bill and owner Eddie DeBartolo. So that he was also very big in helping understand Bill Walsh.
Right on. Well, in preparation for Niner fans or just overall football fans that are also, waiting on this to come out. I mean, are these coming out all in one? Is it going to be a weekly, bi-weekly type thing, or are they going to be able to binge watch and watch them all?
I think by the end of Monday night, you'll be able to binge watch them and watch them all on AMC Plus. On AMC, I guess linear. The first 2 episodes are airing Sunday night, and the second 2 episodes, is a 4-episode series, are airing Monday night.
Gotcha.
And they span from the 49ers beginnings, and mostly the heart of the story is the 88 season, and that's kind of the majority of episodes 3 and 4. That's when Joe versus Steve came to a head, and that was probably the most challenging season for that dynasty, and it was definitely the most challenging season personally for Coach Walsh. And that was the season that made them a dynasty. Like, if they don't win that Super Bowl 23 in Miami, like, we might not be making this show. We're not having this conversation. So
yeah, you're absolutely
right. I think a lot of people who remember the 49ers as a dynasty probably forget that third Super Bowl title didn't come easy. And even if you do remember that a little bit, you're gonna understand even more about how really they were on the edge of like derailing. So that made it all that much more special for that team. So it's cool.
So out of curiosity, how long are the episodes?
They're like a TV hour. I think they're like probably around 45 minutes of content for each, and they'll air in hour segments.
Talking about maybe 3.5, 4-hour commitment here for fans, but for you guys as directors and obviously putting this together, how did you go about figuring out what pieces to keep in and what to cut? Like, did you guys go about this thinking, okay, this is a story that maybe fans don't know about, so we have to keep this in? Or was there just a plan going forward already and you just stuck to it?
I think it's a little of both, probably. I mean, we spent 6 months, like the last half of 2024, I think, putting together the story and making sure that we were happy with the story, and all of our partners and our clients were happy with the flow of the story. And then you do this long enough, and there's, you tell the story, you tell the film what you want it to be, and then there's a certain point where that kind of flips, and the film kind of tells you what it wants to be. So, like, there's a story about how Mr. D, the team owner, Eddie DeBartolo, after they won the Super Bowl in '89, takes the entire franchise to Hawaii, and he took NFL Films and Steve Sable with them, and we have amazing behind the scenes footage.
That's
and unfortunately, like, just given the flow of episode 4, it was like, this kind of derails the flow of the episode. So, I mean, we use the footage in places, but that's a story that, like, I guess the phrase is "kill your babies." Like, we had to cut it just to keep the flow going, but like that killed us. So.
That's heartbreaking. That sucks.
Oh, we did have a listener that texted in. He's a big Niner fan, and he didn't even hear about this, so he's excited to hear about it. But he did say, growing up, one of his favorite NFL films was the annual Football Follies that used to come out. He said, "Is there any chance that we can get these back?"
I feel like we do it every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if they're packaged the same way anymore. I mean, like, if you have an interesting wire bite from Sunday, it's gonna get put on social, and that's how people will kind of see it.
It's all in real life now.
I'm not sure how many people are like clamoring for a half hour of follies anymore, but maybe
Yeah.
everything comes around again. So who knows?
Yeah.
It's true.
They were kind of they were good back in the day when you got a VHS tape along with your Sports Illustrated subscription.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm thinking about. Gentlemen, we know you're incredibly busy, so I just got one more question for you and we'll let you go. Both of you do a lot of work for NFL Films. Both of you are fantastic directors. Is there anything that we could look forward to that you're both working on right now?
Well, I guess we could say we both are working on the next season of Netflix's Quarterback, so we're very excited about
Nice.
that.
Yeah, and I will go back to editing a portion of the Road to the Super Bowl special that will be on NBC before on Super Bowl Sunday.
Very long running, like
Oh yeah, it's been going on forever.
decades.
So I'm in the middle of working on that and Quarterback as well. So that's kind of what we move on to next. Then get some
Well,
time off.
with both of us, we're both big Super Bowl or big NFL fans, sports fans in general. That's where we started. But, we both went to school for journalism. We do this on the side because we're also both producers and produce other shows. And, how do you land one of the dream jobs as fans of us, how is the road just to get a job with NFL Films? Because it's not really work when you're doing something you enjoy like this.
Mhm.
That's
Looking at you
that's
guys,
what Ed Sable used to say.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, the thing Steve Sable always told us was you should know how to write, because he said we can teach anybody how to edit film, but it's a lot harder to teach people how to write. So
Yeah, that's one of the most
take-
challenging parts of all of it, I would say too.
Yeah.
So he's absolutely on top of that one.
Well, it's the rise of
Thanks,
the
guys.
49ers. I appreciate it. You guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Real quick before we let you go, can we get a hint at who the quarterbacks will be in this season?
We cannot tell you.
Dang it!
I can
Top
put
secret.
money on it. It's not going to be Tua. I promise
well, no,
that.
that's probably true too. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We got to take a break. This is the Early Bird Special.